Hi, this is a preview of an interactive PowerPoint I made on writing detailed sentences. It's just to help students get a little more description into their sentences so they aren't as boring. This just gives them some prompts to help them do that, and it includes a worksheet. It's available at my Teachers Pay Teachers store, which is, the store name is Eve Coates, and I'll have the description in the link in the description. So this is just a highlight. It doesn't have the whole PowerPoint, it just gives you an idea of it. So it starts by showing the importance of making descriptive sentences so that they're interesting to read and you can visualize them. So it starts with a boring sentence, and you have the students try to visualize this, and it's just not very memorable. Then they try to listen to one with, well, so it explains, you know, we don't know anything about this girl, what she looks like, is she tall or short, where is she? It's just harder to picture. So then it gives a more descriptive sentence, and you have them close their eyes and try to visualize each part. The tall girl with curly red hair stood on a rusty log in the forest. So they try to picture this, and then they're asked a few questions to see if they can remember, based on the description, if they can remember a little more what was happening in the sentence. So we'll answer a few questions. Remember, she's standing on a log, she's in the forest. So that kind of helps them see details, can make something more interesting to read. And then it explains, it goes over 5 questions to prompt them to add details to their sentences. So the questions you can prompt them with are what kind, did what, where, how, and when. So it actually goes through each one. Right here, this is just going through what kind. So it starts a sentence, there was a turtle. To make it a little more interesting, you can say what kind of turtle. In this case, we could say it's a green turtle. So it goes through each one of those questions, and for parts of it, the students get to choose what details to add. So right now we're at the where descriptive sentence. So this says, the silly gingerbread man sang loudly. So to make this more interesting, they get to choose where he was. So they can choose down here, they could choose in a pool, and it'll have that pop up on a pan. And then it has a game at the end to help them add details. So in this game, they get to go through each one, what kind, did what, how, where, when. So let's go through and choose each one. It's a small fish. The did what, I didn't go over this section, but it's just to help them get more interesting verbs. So instead of jumped, we can choose a different one. And we can choose how, quickly. Where was he? Say in a fishbowl, and it was at night. So they can try again and go through, and it'll have different pictures depending on what they choose, or they can go on. There is a worksheet included, and the PowerPoint gives an explanation of how to do it. So it just starts with an example sentence where they fill in each part, and then each sentence below a little bit more is missing, and then eventually they just need to write their own sentences. So that's included. One thing to note here is to make sure you emphasize that not every sentence has to be this structure. Not everything has to have an adjective, a verb, where, when. This is just to help them get more in there, but every sentence obviously doesn't need to be like this. Okay, so if you're interested, just follow the link in the description. And if you do end up doing this with your class, please just comment below or let me know. I'd love to hear about classes that are using these products. Thank you.